Hey guys, Sean here. Welcome to the F1 Word and to a first look at the new McLaren, which of course launched a little bit earlier today. Now it's been a winter of upheaval at Woking with changes both behind the scenes and of course in their driver lineup. There also seems to be a lot of anticipation around their 2019 season, but the team themselves have been unusually quiet about their expectations for this year. I'll talk more about the teammate battle and the new season a little bit later in the video, but let's start by having a look at the MCL34. Well, very much as expected, they've kept the orange but have added a lot more of that really nice blue. I'm not generally a big fan of orange and blue together. I don't think they work. I'm sure somebody will point out about how they're complementary colours or something like that. I've just never been a fan. But I think it looks alright on the McLaren. Actually though, it's one of those that I seem to like more and more each time I look at it. It's certainly much better than last year's livery. That was all just too orange. There wasn't anything there to break it up, if that makes sense. And I will say, this might be an unpopular opinion, maybe, but I also seriously like the new race suits. I've seen a mixed reaction on social media, but I am a fan. The design itself looks really slick, especially from the front view of the car. It just seems to flow very nicely. Also, some pretty funky stuff going on around the nose, and of course, I'm still loving these simplified front wings. I've got to say, the design of the barge boards is so different too. Just the whole car looks so aggressive. Just having a look at the side view and towards the back of the car, check out that little extra wing on what used to be the shark fin. It's something I don't recall seeing on any other car. Oh, and by the way, 5-spoke wheels. Yes, please. Seriously, I'm like a kid in a candy store looking at the MCL34. Actually, do you know what? Forget everything I've just said about how this car is growing on me, because it's already grown on me. I think I'm a tad, dare I say, in love with this car. I mean, it doesn't matter if I dare to say it because I just did. But the livery looks great, the whole design looks awesome, and as I've already said, aggressive. Just well done, McLaren. I think this is probably my favourite so far. Obviously though, and I guess back to reality, it can look as good as it wants. What really matters though is just how quick it is on track. McLaren are being very pragmatic about this season, but they've got to start delivering. And looking at that car, I'm certainly feeling more optimistic for McLaren this season than perhaps previously I was. I probably ought to add as well that it is great to see a lot more sponsorship on that car. There is still a lot of space to fill, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. So what about the teammate battle between Carlos Sainz and Lando Norris then? Well, this is another tough one to call for me, but also another very interesting lineup. This feels like Cites' chance to really show everyone what he's got. There is no denying he is quick and clearly talented, but this will be the first season for a while now where he's actually been able to settle at a team, if that makes sense. You know, for the last couple of seasons, there have been so many question marks around his future. Will he stay at Toro Rosso? Will Red Bull promote him? Will Renault keep him? Just things like that. He's not really been able to put 100% focus into a team, but now with a multi-year deal in place at McLaren, he's got the opportunity to settle and to grow. He was good last season, much better than perhaps I've given him credit for. And if McLaren can give him a car capable of competing with the top end of the midfield, I really do think he will be a force, certainly has the potential to surprise. He's another driver who comes into this season perhaps a little bit underrated, and yes, I'll admit I am one of those guilty of that. As for Lando Norris, well, as I've said before, I have got my concerns. He is a quick, talented young driver with tons of potential and plenty of room to develop. I'm always banging on about how good he was in Euro F3 a couple of years ago, and that's because he was. That was the year he really started to catch people's eye. The thing is though, I worry that he's been brought through to F1 a little bit too soon. He was good last year, no doubt, but he lacked a little bit of consistency, and I just feel like a second year in F2 would have done him the world of good. Also, as I was saying when I did the Williams video on Monday, there is a lot of hype around him, and the British media are already piling the pressure on with all this next Lewis Hamilton crap. I don't know how much of that a driver pays attention to, but he's a young lad, a rookie, and they need to really back off just a little bit. McLaren have said he will be given time, and I really hope they stay true to their word on that one. As we've seen all too often recently, they don't tend to be all that patient with their young drivers. Who will come out on top though? I'm going to go with Carlos Sainz. I think this will be yet another very close teammate battle, but the Spaniard has got several years of F1 experience already under his belt, and although he is moving to a new team and will need time to settle, I still feel that will just give him the edge. I have no doubt that Lando Norris will push him hard, but surely this first season is about settling into the sport, and so for me, if he can just get close enough to his teammate in terms of pace and indeed points, I reckon people would see that as a very good first season for him. But yeah, I think Carlos Sainz will just edge this one. That is it then for this video, and in the comments section down below, let me know your thoughts on the new McLaren and also who you think will come out on top in the teammate battle. Now, I will be back tomorrow with the last launch video of the week, and that of course is covering Ferrari's new car. The launch is currently scheduled for 9:45 AM UK time, and so hopefully I'll have the video out by around midday. In the meantime though, you can follow me over on social media. Links to Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and of course to Discord are all in the description down below. But as ever, thank you for watching. I've been Sean, this has been the F1 Word, and until next time, goodbye.